And we're live. Cool. Hopefully I got enough space on my phone.
Oh, dude, I got so much shit to do here.
Yeah, organization and all that. You got to build the compound. Did you always have this bike?
No, man, I wish.
Or was there's another cruiser behind? This is your first bike, or?
Dude, I crashed my Dyna.
That's what I thought.
I crashed my Dyna in 2020. That was a street bob in 2017.
You had a bunch of gold on it and stuff?
No. It was just black and chrome. It was almost, honestly, like...
But that was the bad one, right? Down the side of the hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That was the street bob. The 2017 street bob, it had, thunder header, chrome bars, risers, whatever. But yeah, that bike got totaled, obviously, and then maybe like 7-8 months later, the following year, I went and I picked this thing up from LA. Some dude had another one. It was like identical, same bike, but the other one had just a little bit more work done to it, better suspension. And
So you had two of these?
yeah, they were like same year, same everything. The other bike, I think he was just gonna really, I don't know, put like some serious money into it. He was like telling me he was going to take it to some dudes who build motors in Arizona. I think I probably know who it is, but then he was like, yeah, I'm just trying to get rid of this one. But since that day, dude, this has been a nightmare. I love the bike, honestly. I really do. I'm so glad I got it. I've had so many fun times on it, but man, it's been a nightmare. Just because of the original engine that was in it when I picked it up was a S&S. It was a 111, and it just had a lot of issues that I guess I didn't know about, and they got fixed at first. My cylinders and my pistons got all scored up, and they got, they just got smoked. So I had to switch that out. That was a lot of money. And then that was also during, it was just during that weird shortage of just materials and
back order on parts. Yeah,
it was crazy. So there was just no parts for anything, especially for a specific like S&S motor, and it just became a headache. And then it ended up being more than just the cylinders, and then obviously it ended up being the crank, and then it just took a shit.
Naturally, it had cancer, man.
That's what happens with them. But yeah, no, it's been a cool bike. I would for sure. I want to get another one. They're fun to have.
Yep.
And if you really look at them, you think about them, they're pretty simple. But then yeah, like you said earlier, it comes that question. You want something, a headache.
Yep.
Or that everyday, reliable bike. Hey, pack your shit up. We're gonna go right out to blah blah blah. Or, I can't necessarily do that with this.
But it's cool.
It's
cooler.
I mean, so far,
it's got the pizza cut frame.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It looks good. It sits all right. I just got to get the exhaust fixed and.
Yeah, you definitely got a project for yourself. Are you happy wrenching on bikes? Did you grow up wrenching on stuff?
So not on bikes at least. I've always been into cars and trucks, and I have an old Chevy, an '85 Chevy. Me and Jay are always talking trucks and
the C10s and all that.
Yeah.
Hell
so, I did LS swap in there, so a good amount of wrenching. I just like to do it more as a hobby.
Yep.
And but with this thing, I just don't know enough about the Evo motors. I don't know enough about just the FXR in general. Just the correct just specs for this bike. I mean, not that they're too specific, but I don't know how an Evo motor is going to work with a Baker 6-speed transmission. So. Yeah, it's just hidden.
The plumbing and all that, yeah. No, it's cool. That caught my eye. I was like, oh, that's not 5-speed.
So, yeah, see, I don't know enough about it like that, but...
Oh, you learn as you go, but...
yeah, absolutely.
You've probably found this, especially as the guys doing like engine swaps in cars and trucks. It's a lot fucking easier to do this in your garage than it is a C10 pickup.
It is, man. I've had...
You can pull up a chair here and like mess around with the starter.
Exactly. That's why sometimes, I want to start working on the truck and do stuff like that, maybe start working on an old muscle car or something, but I don't know, the bikes. I just always come back to the bikes.
Yeah.
They look good. They're they're a lot smaller, simpler, and if you think about it, there's nothing. If you don't have a bike, there's no replacement for a bike.
No.
Really, like, you might have a cool truck. You're like, all right, whatever. I'll take my car, or you're still driving something, but with a bike it's different, man. You're splitting lanes, or you're just in a group with a couple buddies, or
I think that was a big. We were talking about living in the state, and all the things people like and don't like. That was a big thing for me. It was like when I lived out here those 8 years, this traffic for the most part, unless I was driving with a friend or a girl or something, was never a factor for me. I was just like, cool, I got to go somewhere, and I'd be happy to like gap lanes for an hour and a half listening to music. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna check out a new album today, and then by an hour and a half I should be in Santa Clarita.
Exactly.
Like,
and then there goes, there's the whole album.
It wasn't like miserable gridlock in my Honda Accord.
And you enjoyed yourself doing it.
Yeah, I enjoyed myself doing it.
You just get up and go, and that's what I like too, and that's why I brought up to you that whole adventure bike thing, because, man, I mentioned in the group chat, I was like, dude, I'm kind of sold.
Yeah.
Once he started showing me videos, and
it's enticing.
You can't
for
compare
sure.
It obviously to a Harley, but man, that bike is super cool.
Because I'm a little torn, because I love my Harley activities out here. I've gotten really into off-roading stuff, and I'm like, I window shop all day for like quads, like old 2-stroke quads and new 4-stroke ones like YFZ 450s, and I'm like, oh, maybe I want a 250R. Or like I was talking to you about the Banshee, but I'm like, fuck it, no, I need to get another Harley. I'm like, I need both. Now I'm looking at Pan Americas, and I'm like, maybe Christian's right. You do the adventure bike. Like, hell yeah.
It's never ending, man.
It's never ending, yeah.
But I have no experience with any of that with an adventure bike.
Who cares?
I've never. No, I'm saying that attracts me even more.
The curiosity.
Yeah, I'm just versus why not this, why not that? I just hear adventure bike, and I saw those videos, and I was all about it.
Yeah, and that whose bike was that you were checking out?
My buddy UV.
Your buddy.
He's a wildland firefighter.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Did you get to? Did he let you rip it a little, or?
Yeah, I mean, just right here, dude. You hit the little speed bumps like nothing.
It just eats them up.
It's super cool.
And you're up in that that attack stance on those things where you're like, your shit's all tucked in.
Seating is way. It's like you'd be sitting up like right here on the platform up here.
Yeah.
It's just it's way more bike, but And he was telling me he prefers the 750s. They're just more nimble, and
Interesting.
You can jump them, however, because they have like the big 1100s or something.
On what was the make of his?
That was a Yamaha.
Of the 750. So they have two different motor packages on those?
A 750, and then probably that 1100. I think that's kind of how KTM does it that way now.
Yep.
Like they have a 900 series or
Yep.
Yes, I don't know.
Yeah, I would imagine the bigger ones for those guys who like to do cross country touring. Because that's they're a whole nother cult. Is like you have these I want to say middle-aged men. It always seems to be like 30s and 40s. 50s, and I'll see these guys because I'd pound out miles on the i5.
The dudes with no responsibilities, just
I would always bump into them, and they always had the rain suits on, like coveralls, head to toe, and they're all neon and shit, and they have their adventure bags packed up with like as much stuff they can bungee cord to them, and they're like splitting. Like, I could tell like they've been on the road for probably hours. There's bugs all over their windshield and stuff, and like.
And that's exactly, man. That's exactly what.
But yeah, you want to talk about dudes who throw down miles?
I would love to do a trip like that.
You could definitely give Harley bagger, old bro, beard down to the fucking whatever. Those guys who come out on Sundays, and then you got Mr. Adventure Bike guy who's like, I just came in from Ohio, like.
A few states away, and man, where's like the furthest place you've gone on a bike?
My biggest trip, I did one from Fontana to Austin.
To Texas? Yeah,
to Texas and back.
Dang.
And then, I stopped along the way. I stopped in Arizona and El Paso. And
on the bike, that was probably rough.
Oh, yeah, on the Dyna, it was a little rough. I had a Memphis Shades, like, fairing kind of like this one.
You had something.
I had something. What I ran into, I didn't have enough space. I had a sea bag. I had my Army, military sea bag strapped over the back, and I just stuffed a bunch of clothes in it.
Yeah, one of those.
And then after, going on the freeway for hours, it would slide to the right. And then I'd strap it back up and it'd start to slide to the left.
As like a backrest?
Yeah, I was using it kind of like a backrest. But if anything, yeah, I just kind of got uncomfortable with my knees. So I was putting I had like Bung King bars, and I was trying to use those as like highway pegs to just like stretch out.
Wow, that's a lot.
Didn't really do the, yeah, it was okay.
How many times did you have to stop? Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I didn't count.
A ton.
Yeah, I would stop. Sometimes I would just stop out of paranoia because I was like, well,
So
if this isn't the last gas stop, I don't know where the next one is. So
yeah, always. You just gotta top off.
Top off.
How long did that take you?
That was, so I did, well, and this is how I chose to do it. I went, spent the night in Phoenix. That was an easy day trip. Fontana to Phoenix is like 5 hours, 6 hours. That was very leisurely. Phoenix to El Paso, same thing, pretty leisurely. That was a good 6-7 hour ride. And then there's really no good spot in between El Paso and Austin. There's not much.
Really quick then.
Yeah, and then, so on the third day I was doing El Paso, Austin. That was like a good 10, 11 hour ride to my parents' house.
Yeah.
And that was pretty, not too enjoyable. Some parts of it were enjoyable. I don't know if you've driven through Texas.
Yeah, I have.
Where like West Texas is very like high plains desert. And then you see the elevation change and you start to come down. It starts to get green and hilly.
Yeah.
And I was coming through that when it was like overcast with some lightning storms. And just when I was pulling around Rock, it started raining. So it was kind of cool to watch the weather change before my eyes. And
but that can get.
if you've been to Texas Hill Country, like it is cool to watch lightning storms out there. But yeah, it was pretty rough. And then you start to get like, you start riding like that for those periods of time. The exhaustion you experience almost kind of makes you loopy and shit.
It does.
And your eyes are all bloodshot. And
I mean, you're seeing the same thing.
you're just seeing everything. And then the white noise of your motor in the background, and then you have like ringing in your ears and all that stuff.
You get off the bike, you stop to get gas, and you take your helmet off, and your ears are just ringing.
Yeah.
All the time. Your whole rest.
But pretty awake, Pretty energized. Yeah, that was cool. What about you?
I did that trip last year. So when I told you I went on terminal, as I was getting out of the Marine Corps, my parents were both moving. They're weird, I know. They're both divorced, but they still both are moving to Fort Worth.
Okay.
So just each for work, and just my family is small. My sister and I and my parents, So we just did it together as a family, and we helped them. I was getting out of the Marine Corps, so I didn't have to go to work anymore. So it was my dad and me in the box truck, and then my mom and sister in the car behind us, and we drove to Texas. We drove to Fort Worth.
As a whole squad?
And and that took, I don't know, 19, I think maybe 19 hours.
So in one go?
We stopped once.
Okay.
Just maybe for a few hours, just to rest. It was like probably 3 in the morning, 4 in the
morning.
morning.
Yeah.
Woke back up at 6 or 7 and, bounced. And then, But it was a long trip, dude. It was like miserable.
Yeah.
Being in a box truck, I can't, move my seat back or anything,
Yeah, the box trucks don't let you like recline.
And it also only goes so fast, so you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
That big ass truck, but what can you do?
What about this?
This, honestly, probably Ventura.
From here?
Yeah, that's probably
That's a good stretch.
Yeah, and I did that earlier in the year for Chopper Fest. I think that was around February or something. Chopper Fest is a good time, the David Mann thing. Yeah, that was my first time up there in that area. I met up with Shane, and I saw Joe.
The fairgrounds. You entered to win anything?
No, I didn't. There were some really cool bikes there. That's when I met, your buddy that you were talking about.
Gary.
Yeah. And
oh, that's right. He was probably put his bike in the show or something, or on display with like a little thing.
There was a little section for FXRs and
cool.
Some cool bikes. Yeah, there were some cool builds out there. But I parked in front of the Spit Shine booth.
Nice.
Yeah, Terry's a good dude. But me and Eric did actually.
He parked in front of it too?
Yeah, me and Eric were right in front of Spit Shine.
And that, would he have the RT?
He had the RT. Yeah.
Old, just pretty dude. Yeah, pretty bike.
We actually rode home together that time, and I got a cool little video of him riding by on the bike. But yeah, that thing is so clean.
Yeah, stupid clean. He said he babies it. He tries to ride it at the least.
I know he does, but that bike is nice.
Hell yeah.
It looks good, man. And that's a crazy thing too, is that I think he was telling me that one has a little Evo in it too, with a 5-speed.
Yeah, I was picking his brain. He said that one's like, it's been gone through, but not a lot of like mods, just basic, very surface level upgrades.
It's good.
And that seems to do the trick. So yeah.
Yeah. See, then that leaves me with, you know.
I reflect on my time with my street bop because I bought mine new from the dealership and it was just bone stock 103, and all I did was pipe and intake and a tune. And yeah, I had my fair share of issues along the way, but I think I saved myself a lot of trouble. Not messing with that motor more than I did.
Doing cams.
Yeah, doing a bunch of crazy stuff because I rode that trip to Texas I just mentioned.
Yeah.
Foolishly, like without any money for parts, any backup bushings or nuts or bolt. Like I didn't even really go through my bike. I should have done like an inspection. Like,
hey man.
But I was just like, fuck it, we'll go. I got AAA.
You know, you won't know what's wrong until it goes out, you know? So
yeah.
Only one way to find out, just ride it. And then wherever you end up, you end up. But
yeah.
That's how I looked at it with my street bob, because if I did cams, if I did any of that crazy stuff, it would just void warranty. And
yeah.
You know.
Well, I had
warranty was everything.
Did you have spokes?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
I had spokes too. So I had a few spokes go out.
I switched them later.
And then I ended up learning to babysit those. I would, you know, like dirt bike guys do. I have to like the sound and I'm like, wait, that's a little loose.
See, that's the thing too. I would sometimes go to tighten them, and from where the spoke goes into the rim, you know, and you see that little amount of threads.
Yes.
Sometimes you see more threads than other times, you know,
than
other spokes, and you would think, oh, okay, this one's loose. But it's not always.
That's not the case. No,
you're
supposed to have that. You're supposed to have that strip of rubber over them too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Try not to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a balancing kit and everything because I was very much. I want to do everything myself. And at a certain point, you ask yourself, like, is this worth learning?
Yeah.
Do I want to do this on every set of rim? You know. Yeah. So I ended up selling the balancing kit and all that shit.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I learned the skill.
Mags are easy.
YouTube University.
And then again, you know, with mags, you got your like, you know, I've seen shops, my buddies that I was talking to you about earlier. You know, they're bringing in a wheel that they just got back from a shop, and you know the weights are falling off, and and it's like, oh my god.
And a lot of these, because they don't, I think they still make mags for Sportsters, but a lot of these mags are passed around over the decades.
Oh yeah.
So God only knows where it's been beat on. You know, nothing lasts forever as much as we want it to.
They're being passed around, man.
Does this have a name?
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
Dang.
Did Eric's bike have a name?
I don't know. I didn't ask him. I named my bike Dusty because she was always. I just fucking beat the shit. I never washed that bike or polished it. I would, but not as much as most people. It's like a once every month. Broken money pit.
She's been broken more times than I've been able to ride her, but it's a fun bike, that's for sure, man.
Yeah. What shocks are you running on the back here?
These are the Batubos. Batubos chrome, 14-inch.
I don't think I've heard of those.
I guess it's like an Italian brand.
Italian.
But yeah, they're nothing crazy.
Comfier than stock?
They're just absolutely. 14 inches for these is the highest that they make in any chrome shock for FXR. So if I want to go taller, which I do, I'm gonna have to get that block. They make it. One of the FXR accounts, you know. They make them.
That's funny that you're all about that. I was watching. How do you know? It must have been like a Speed Kings bike check or a Thrashing or something. There's some dude. I want to say he's down in the Inland Empire whereabouts, and he has an FXR similar to yours, like a 90 or 92, and he's got like 60 inches on the back because he loves the carved canyons all day. Yeah. The same thing, like he got a 14 plus a block plus a buddy welded up something like. Oh man! So it was like.
Yeah, at some point that starts to just mess up with the the whole geometry of the bike.
100%. Yeah. Do you canyon ride a lot? Or did you canyon ride a lot?
I did, but I mean, absolutely. I've ridden, you know, through some nice areas, you know, since then, but not like I used to. Not not at least in that sort of riding style. Not as aggressive or, you know, just trying to make it to the race to the bottom of the hill or something.
Yep.
You know, I'm just cruising through it.
So you had a street bob like me before this. When you when you were riding more, did you notice a big difference under your ass, like with the 16-inch more narrow wheel, as opposed to that big planted fucking street bob thing?
You do, but it's at the same time, it's not something to where it just stays like that. Okay, this is how this is going to be. This is how that's going to be. It just kind of, you know, it grows on you.
It grows on you.
You start to learn to make it work.
Yeah.
You know? It just rides different at first, maybe. You know, it'll grip different, maybe lean different in a turn, but after that, dude, it's just, you know, you feel the bike. You know how it is.
Yep. Yeah. Each bike has its own character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it a little? I bet with 14 inches on the back, a little bit more nimble to throw around, or?
I mean, you're talking with the tire too, because I have a 130 for the tire.
Okay.
Very, very.
Well, just you know,
thin tire, but that obviously definitely, you know, affects it too, because the Dynas, they had a 160, and so the 130 is a lot smaller. That's the thing about FXR. Some people change them to 150s and whatnot, but you know, I think the 130 is just fine with the 14 inches too. The clearance has been really good so far. I mean, when I did have the bike before it broke off, I would still sometimes, obviously not at 100 miles an hour, but I would for sure hit a turn, you know, and I'd lean into it, and I wouldn't be scraping anything.
Oh yeah.
So the biggest thing is the front end. The front end was everything. You know, you raise that, and that's a world of a difference.
That's a world of a difference.
Yeah.
And you have a narrow glide front end. On our bikes, we had the big old wide 39 mil fork or 49 mil forks. 49s. And the Dyna frame's just bigger.
Yeah.
And this is like not quite a Sportster, but not quite a Dyna.
Yeah, it's just it's a little rare breed, but it feels good, man. And I do notice it's smaller. Sometimes I see the newer Softails, and I'm like, that's just a big bike.
Yeah.
The frame, everything about the bike is big.
And have you had the opportunity to ride any of those?
I have. Actually, so last year, I think it was last year, me, Jessica and Joe, we all drove out to, I think it was Willow Springs.
Raceway.
Out kind of near 29 Palms.
Yeah.
There. And I forgot who was like racing and stuff, but we went to go see some people, and Len was there, and then that's when I met Zach. I don't know if you know Zach, that pointy pitchfork dude.
No, not ringing a bell.
Yeah, he races too. I met a few dudes, but I rode a Lowrider S. It was all done up, chain, cam, suspension, and it just, you could definitely tell the difference. Obviously, you know, the throttle, everything, just the responsiveness in the motor, the vibration, everything is just different. But it's a big bike. Obviously, that was my first time ever on it for, you know, 30 seconds. You know, I can only get so much of an idea about it, but I don't know. At least for me, I think I'm gonna get one. Honestly.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck it, why not?
I keep hearing
at some point it's like
good things about them. I'm seeing them come down in price used a lot.
The Milwaukee 8s are probably gonna be around for a little while. You know, I hear good things about them. So.
And yeah, I had the opportunity to ride one last week. I passed it up because I didn't pass it up. I ended up drinking, and we never made the time. And I was like, I can't ride in this condition. And yeah, it was a Fat Bob, the 114.
Oh, okay, nice. It's got that different.
Yours was a Lowrider S.
Yeah, that was the Lowrider S, the black
nice.
one. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that might be your new daily, and then you got the Project.
That bike though, man, I know those bikes. You know, you just do a few upgrades. You know, cam plate, oil pump, like some things like that. And that bike with a tune, it sounds so mean.
Rocket.
It's insane. It's just one of the best sounding motors for sure.
Interesting. So that much of an audible difference?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So my buddy Kyle, he also got his bike done at one of the shops we talked about earlier, but it's just a Milwaukee 8 with cams, dude, and a Thunderheader.
Yeah, it just screams with that.
And I'm telling you, every time he fires that thing up, it's insane. It just completely covers the sound of the FXR.
Really? I always thought these had a nice putt.
And it just sounds good. There's such a good like lope to it. It's nice.
Nice lope to it. Yeah.
It's that thunder header too, man.
The thunder header definitely makes a difference. I had a Sportster, a cammed Sportster with a thunder header, and that thing had the same lope to it. Also being like I think it was an 883 with a 1250 kit on it. I don't know. I bought it used, right? And
those things rip.
And that was the peppiest bike I've ever rode.
Oh, yeah.
Was like a 1250 kit Sportster with the cam. And if it was rain, the roads were wet and I gassed it too hard, it would just spin tire out the back.
Man.
I could like drift the back end. That's pretty cool. Yeah, man. I don't know. The Softails are. I remember all the hate when they came out, and now I'm seeing them circulate. I'm seeing people crash them. I'm seeing people upgrade them. I'm seeing people put like 151 M8 kits on them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing lowrider STs first sale sub $20,000.
Yeah.
Or ST, the one with the bags and the thing, the fairing and all that, which is mind blowing. That might have to be the move. We were talking about bikes. I mentioned cop bagger, but I don't know. I'm like.
So if you did go that route, if you went to a Softail, you would get an ST. You like the fairing. You like.
I just feel like I'm owning a part of history because I know they're not. I think they might discontinue those soon.
The ST.
I think it was kind of a cash grab. They're like, oh, you guys like this?
I think so too.
And they made them just to appease the community. Because Harley is like a real pain in the ass to influence to do anything. Yeah. And they were just like, they couldn't ignore everybody's buying leather pro bags and just like, mimicking a fairing from the 90s. They're like, okay, we'll make something new. Exactly. You guys like this. Like,
yeah. Just like in the FXR world, they stopped making, big full fairings and, they go for a ton of money.
Yep. Yeah, it's even trippy like Arlen Ness. I don't even know when it was. Maybe it was in the 90s. He started making plates for these. Because people just liked it more.
The ones with the louvered, is that how you say it? Louvered?
I don't know. What does that mean?
Just like they're like little cutouts in them, like a little slit.
Oh no, I haven't seen those. I was just talking about like a whole pizza plate that covers everything.
Yeah. They do those, but I think they have one a little bit larger that would come down here, and it's got like 3 little slits in it, and it looks fucking badass.
That's pretty dope. I like the stock ones though, because the stock ones like, this came from the factory pinstripes. They're just cool.
I know, man.
And as it gets older, you get to say like it's original.
I'm glad she's got a garage that's chilling.
For real. That's another thing where I live. Like I couldn't imagine leaving a bike outside, and the moisture and all that stuff.
And I see it, man. And especially in Oceanside, being over there in Pendleton. Oh man.
You must eat up bikes.
So many active duty guys. I want to get a bike. I want to start riding. And then, all these new guys, they just hit the fleet or whatever, they're getting Harleys or getting, weird Yamahas and, I don't know, sport bikes and everything, but they just leave them outside and they just rust to shit, man.
Yep.
And they're still like financing the bike and then, you give it 6 months and the bike just looks like shit.
Yep. Yeah, I remember I fit that entire description. I got back from like a deployment at 19. I went to the dealership and I'm like, that one. And
that is so fun.
And then I parked it outside by the barracks at Magoo. Granted, we're a couple football fields from the beach. And then I got started getting rust pitting on the forks.
Yeah.
But I was an animal about it too. Like everybody wanted to go out partying and stuff. And I was like, I'm going to hang out with my bike. And I'll go back and I'd start like, with microfiber, the 000 wool, like attacking it and then oiling my forks and just drinking by my bike alone, like out in the parking lot.
That's funny. I feel like we all had a little stage like that. I did that too, but with my truck. It was in the barracks parking lot and I was just trying to work on it. And, my buddies would be going out and I'm like, nope, I'm just messing with some electrical or, doing something in my truck and I'll have a beer or two.
Yep.
But it's a love-hate relationship, that's for sure. But I have a ton of ideas and plans I want to get done,
So since purchasing this, since you've owned it, what have you personally done or messed with?
Dude, honestly, probably like the majority of it. Probably the majority of what you see. the shocks, the seat. Luckily, the sissy bar came with it, so it's a nice OG low Harley sissy bar. But and the brakes, the PM calipers. But yeah, I got that motor in there. You know.
Damn. So you chose to get PM calipers all on your own.
Oh no! I'm saying those were already on there.
They came with it. Okay.
PM calipers, yeah.
Because those are pretty pricey.
PM calipers, and it came with the Baker 6-speed.
Nice.
And other than that, I got the windshield, the bars, the risers, crash bar. Yeah, I mean, this bike's been taken apart so many times, and
you're starting to learn it pretty good.
I mean, from what other people were telling me.
Yeah.
I just try to hover over and see how they do a lot of this stuff, but it's a craft, man.
It's a craft for sure. I had a 92 RS, and it was like some other guy's project that was like 90% done. He had the pipe and everything for it, and I put it together just to get it running and for sale. Mm-hmm. And as I was going through it, it had like timing issues, and then I had to learn the world of timing. Yeah. With like Harley mechanics, and they're like, oh, you got to buy a new microchip or whatever the fuck that goes in there, and then you have to tune that on the backside and wait till the top dot to come top dead center, and I'm like, and then you have to adjust the push rods and make up for the whatever.
Exactly.
It was a whole thing. You could sit there with the service manual for a good 5 days.
That's why I let the pros do their thing.
If you get enjoyment out of it, by all means,
Absolutely.
But some stuff is just better to outsource.
I've always, offered to help, and I'm like, hey, let me know, because you tell me what to do, I'll start taking it apart. But also just shops, it just has like a liability thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. They're trying to be professional and just work on the bike.
So that's cool. This is a cool windshield you got here, and that I'm assuming this didn't come with that year and model. It came off of like some other convertible or something.
Yeah, some other guy had it on. I know he had it on an FXR, but I don't know where that shield came from, because it's like aircraft plastic. It's super thick. And Eric actually, he saw my bike at the shop, and he was like, he hit me up about it. He said, hey man, if you ever want to sell that thing, let me know, because I want to get the same one.
This one?
Yeah.
Really?
He's like, if not, I want to buy it off of you. Yeah, because it's not like just the original Harley ones. Like I said, it's aircraft plastic. It's just somebody makes them for these bikes.
Interesting.
It's super thick, man. It's super thick. I don't feel shit behind that thing. And
yeah,
it sits well. So
I think my Memphis flexed a little.
Yeah.
But I like how it dips down here.
Yeah.
Almost as if to block some wind out for your knees or something.
I forget the name, but it's right there on the front. You can see it right above the headlight. But yeah, it's aviation plastics.
Dope.
Something like that.
Cat beauty or something.
Some guy put it up on the trader page, and I guess Jay knew him, and I had asked the dude if he could hold on to the shield for me, and I think I was still on deployment or something, I don't know, but he held on to it forever.
Wow.
Luckily, the dude still had it when I got back, and I picked it up, and it's been a badass shield. Dude, I love it, man. I've never taken it off.
I think it completes the look.
I've been actually thinking about taking it off, though, just to see how it is riding without one, because I've had it on for so long.
You're like, what's it like to be miserable?
Exactly. I'm like, I don't know what the wind feels like, And I see dudes getting brand new Softails and whatnot, and they put some bars on it, but, they want to haul ass, and
yeah.
I'm like, dude, it's gonna.
I learned that real quick.
It's gonna suck a little bit.
I've tried to explain that concept to younger riders or just new riders, and they're like, "No, it looks gay," and I'm like, "Oh, it's gonna look really cool in about a month."
Dude, and you know what? Carl, right?
Of course.
Yeah, he's
never rocked one. Yeah,
he's never.
Yeah, he's a different human being.
And yeah, he was always doing long load trips, and dude, we used to ride a lot.
Yeah, what's
We all did.
I haven't checked in on him in a while. He's not very active in the chat. He got really into the track scene.
Oh yeah. But again, man, everybody, I totally get it. I've always been the younger one out of the group. You know, I think I'm the youngest one. I don't know. Somebody else was saying they thought they were the youngest. I think it was Jay or Sandra, but I think they're a little older than me. I just turned 25 in November. So, but me, you know, I've known a lot of these people and kind of been around the group chat for a little bit, and it's just cool to see just what everybody's gotten into, you know.
It is, yeah.
What they've put their focus to.
I feel like it's like the Sandlot photo.
It's
and I'm like, everybody's like disappearing from the photo.
But either way, you know, when people always put in the chat, hey, sorry, you know, been busy with blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and I totally get it, man. Like, everybody gets caught up with life. And, dude, it's just been crazy moving into this apartment and moving out of my buddy's house. And, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot for everybody. Everybody's got their own things going on, their own drama, you know, their own bills they got to pay. And sometimes, you know, like, I don't enjoy the bike as much as I want to, or we don't get together as much as we should. And it sucks. There's a lot of people I'd like to see, you know, like more often, and there's some good people in that chat.
Yeah, well, we're all on a good path, I think, and we'll get to hang out tomorrow. So.
Yeah, I do. Hey, hopefully a good amount of people will go. I don't know who will.
Should put the word out. Should hop back in the chat this evening and be like, hey, fuckers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Jessica did.
I'm excited to see Malibu. We went up to Malibu a few days ago. Me and my girl went up to Topanga Canyon. You ever been up there?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, we went up there for cafe lunch. Cafe on 27, Highway 27. Yep. And there's a cool like treehouse brunch spot.
Nice.
We hung out there, and it was cool to go up there because I think last time I was up there in those hills was when I took like an exit off the 101 with my buddy. We were riding, and we rode down that canyon. He ended up crashing. Dude, not bad, but...
Dude, I was just thinking about it. You're like, you ever been there? And I paused because I'm like...
Dude, it was a time capsule.
No, I'm like, dude, I think I crashed there.
Yeah.
I think I did.
My buddy caught like a little slick patch, and then he crashed on the mountainside, so not near the guardrail, thankfully. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't hurt, and the bike was fine. And he just fucking got a little squirrely and went in the ditch, and then we pulled it out and got back on and rode down.
Happens to the best of us, man.
But yeah, he popped his cherry. He liked riding still after. He's like, fuck it, let's keep going. And it was a cool canyon, and it comes down at the PCH at the bottom.
How do you feel? This is one question I gotta ask, but how do you feel about the whole, you know, the Harley world, or not even that, you know, just a Harley compared to a sport bike, you know? And let's say, because I know a lot of guys who ride sport bikes, and they see a Harley that looks like this or built like this or just any performance built Dyna or, you know, and they're like, dude, I've been looking at these and this and that, and they just never got on one and rode it, you know. And but I know once they do, they won't want to leave it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I promise you, dude, like this thing, like it might not be a rocket ship like your Gixxer 1000, but it's a whole, it's in another world of type of like fast, you know. It's different, you know. It's a different ride. And a lot of people, it sucks that I try to convince so many people, and, you know, I'm just like, you're missing out. I promise you, man. I was like, you'll love it. You'll love it. I was like, Harley, it's just fun riding one.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, they're two different communities for sure. I'm obviously not as active as I once was. But I have a lot of friends even on the East Coast, and they're all into the sport bike scene out there, like the extended swing arm, especially in Florida, you know, underglow kits and fucking wheeling and freeway takeovers and all that stuff. And it's a different culture, but I think they're, you know, we're a lot more similar than we like to admit. And I've seen, especially out here, I've seen some crossover where like some of the Gixxer Honda CBR stunt guys, like, you know, one friend with a stunt Dyna convinces them, and they're like, hey, these are pretty cool. And then after I'm done stunting, I can go ride for lunch or something, and it's actually kind of comfortable. And like, and then you end up converting them. So yeah, they're two different worlds. I mean, how funny is it? I bet there's sport bike guys having the same conversation on podcasts right now saying, how do you feel about these Harley guys coming to our track and wearing leathers and stuff? And like, it's comedy. Like, and I think that's what I like about the Harley scene out here is we're doing things that aren't really meant for these bikes, and that's why I think makes it badass. Like, you know, you're not supposed to be doing rolling burnouts and wheelies and stuff, and then you know, you land from a wheelie and you fucking smash your motor case and all that stuff. Or now we're CNC machining and building all these custom parts to make these things do something they were never meant to do. Just like the sport bike guys are taking something that was kind of mostly meant for the track, and they're riding all over the city for hours on end and stuff. So,
if you think about it, the Harley community, it is big. It's very big, but it's also very small in a sense, as like it's only got the people that are into this type of stuff, right?
Yeah, this is a subculture.
Exactly.
For anyone watching, like you have your, if you're even a motorcycle rider, that's a culture in itself. And now we get now you get people who are like brand loyal. I'm not really brand loyal. I mean, I suppose I am with this, but if with dirt bikes, I'll ride anything. So then you have the Harley culture, and then you have subdivisions of the Harley. You have like chopper guys, and you have like bagger guys, and you have guys who only race at the track. Like they would never go ride around the mountains.
Big tire guys, the V-Rod.
Yeah, V-Rod. That's really big on the East Coast.
And
then I have like the Dyna FXR scene, stunt bagger scene.
Yeah, exactly. So that just goes to show
you have the cafe scene.
The community is only so big, you know.
Yeah, and then there's drama.
The specific type of performance, build, like whatever. And people that haven't, you know, ever seen a bike like this, and they see it on the freeway, you know, going 60, 70, doing a wheelie or something. Like some people are like mind blown.
Yep.
You know, my parents, the first time they saw that, they're like, "What?" They're like, "A Harley?" You know, like a big Harley, like. That's not possible, you know?
Yeah, that mentality is still very prevalent. Like once you start, I mean, unless you're on social media and stuff and exposed to it, there's people in Orlando. They're like, what? No, that's.
Oh, you ride Harley? Oh, okay, you got to.
So then you must be like, you got a slow grandpa bike and all that stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, oh no, like my first time seeing that would.
It's funny, man.
Either be at the Net or like downtown Ventura. Yeah, I saw some people rip wheelies or something, and I was like, wait, what? I had no idea. Quaid throws on a pretty good bike show with stunts.
Yeah.
Ravi and all them guys.
Always pretty busy over there.
But yeah, seeing these old bikes from years of '90, you know, doing stunts. I've seen some guys do stoppies on these.
Yeah.
And
crazy shit, man.
Yeah.
But again, it's also crazy too that it's cool that something like that came out. People just started doing crazy tricks on them.
Yeah.
And there were ways for them to be supported in that type of sense, you know, sponsors and everything. Because, dude, those guys were the backbone to all of it.
Yeah,
the tires, the
shit
motors,
ain't cheap.
Like hell.
Especially if you're trying to find half the parts we like.
This is like big boy bikes, you know, like Harleys are just expensive, man. You know, like my buddy that I was telling you about in Florida, he's wanting to come out here, but he's got like an MT-09 and, you know, a Yamaha naked sports bike, and he's been telling me he's looking at the new the STs, and he's always been on the fence. But again, just a big deterrent is like price difference, you know, between a sport bike and a Harley. You know, it's just, dude, some brand new road glider costs more than people's cars.
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
It's insane.
It's insane. At least I do look at these and like I've had some metric bikes. I had a Suzuki Cruiser. He couldn't really work on it. Like you could replace it with OEM things and the carb and stuff, but like I could never change the shocks out. The shocks are connected to the turn signal, which was built into the frame, which was built into like here. You know, you can go through your starter. You want to change out your shocks. If you want to change out the chrome covers on your frame, there's a lot of parts and accessories. There's a lot of people making custom stuff out of their shops in the Midwest for these that, you know, will ship them to your doorstep. And a few years might go by, and that person who made that really cool custom component might not be around anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find some of this stuff for like a Triumph that we do to our bikes.
I know. Man.
Beyond, you know, basic cartridges for the front and shocks for the back and the seat here, but you know, we were talking about side panels for like 10 minutes. There's a whole industry for that.
Dude, I'm like, I don't know what else to talk about.
No, it's good. It's good. I'm just talking about the culture.
Yeah, man. I like.
But I hear you.
There's just so many things I'd like to cover. I just don't want to get too deep in like rabbit holes and.
Oh, you're all right.
You know.
There's no script.
It's there's just a lot, and it's like overwhelming looking in the garage and stuff, and like got a mess in here, man. So
It's all good.
but yeah, bikes are something else, man. But I wanted to get into just more, I guess, the car scene. Not necessarily the car scene. I just wanted to start putting some money towards a car, like a muscle car. You know,
Yeah.
I have an old Chevy truck, LS swapped. I would like to do that with a car. You know,
Hell yeah.
I would like to get an old muscle car. But then, you know, my buddy comes over on an adventure bike, and I'm fucking sold. Like shit, man.
Sounds like we need more money.
Shit, right?
Yeah, more projects. Yeah.
Oh, that's always the issue.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely I love the bikes. I'm definitely getting another bike. But yeah, I either need to get like a UTV or maybe another truck that I can put long travel on or something. That's a whole nother budget. This
That'd be cool.
I've ran the numbers 5 different ways. This is still the cheapest project.
Yeah, buggies and desert toys and stuff. Man.
Desert toys.
Yeah, I was in Havasu for Thanksgiving, and oh man, they get crazier and crazier. Like I had never seen the fully enclosed like boxed ones, you know. So like
razors and stuff.
Yeah, like no dust is getting in your.
Yeah, at that point you're buying a car.
Yeah, it's like but I had never seen that. I'm like, what? That's like. That defeats the purpose. It's just getting in a buggy and
it's like
in the desert.
But what about your goggles, man?
Yeah, they're fully enclosed, and they just look super baller, man. The suspension on them is crazy. They look super upgraded, and they're just stock. That's how they look stock. That's what
I love too. Is like I get to learn more about that community, and a lot of stuff translates. Like I appreciate suspension no matter what I'm on.
Yeah.
And then you learn the quirks of the motor and belts and tires and rims. Dude, I'm waiting for the day King Shocks starts making them for Harleys. I was like, dude, I'll throw some piggyback Kings on right now.
I wonder. I don't know. I feel like there's no way that they haven't thought about it. You know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if there was something that caused them to not make shocks.
There's not enough money into it. I don't know. I think that the people would buy, but yeah.
What do you think about boats? You get out on the lake at all, or?
With a friend, I have a few times. I'd definitely be down for a boat. Probably inboard motor, so that's my style. Something loud.
Yeah. I need to get a boat, man.
But do you follow the Race Desert page?
I follow some of the. I follow like some of the boat ones. Like,
okay.
It's like Lake Havasu.
So Race Desert, it's called Race Desert, spelled with a Z. Is like the FXR and Dyna Parts trader page for pre-runners, boats, all desert toys, pretty much the whole Southwest United States. Sometimes you see Dynas on there, and they'll be like, "I'm selling this," or "I'm willing to trade this." And they got tons of boat stuff on there.
The crazy thing is that the market for them, you would think it might be whatever, but it's pretty insane.
It is pretty insane.
You'd be mind blown to see how many boats get out there on like 4th of July or. How many people have little off-road, toys for New Year's and Thanksgiving and things like that? It's pretty crazy. But
it's a whole industry.
The maintenance on them, man, it's a lot.
That's what I'm saying. I've ran the numbers, and this is still the cheapest project I've owned. Like that's another tax bracket of ownership.
Yeah, and dude, I get overwhelmed when I start thinking about boats because then I think, okay, I need to get a truck. I need to have a solid truck to tow it. You know? And also, if I don't have, my own house with a garage or something, where am I going to store this boat?
Yeah.
And then they have storage near the lake. But again, that's just, an extra $600-700 a month for storing a boat.
Mm-hmm.
Like storage units right now are ridiculous. And, it just adds up to a lot. Even gas for a boat, man.
Hell yeah, you gotta fuel up on the lake. Especially if you go up and down the river, you gotta fuel up again. That's why it's good to have a friend with a boat.
Exactly. But are you trying to be that friend?
Yeah, I'm honestly I'm a big believer in community because like otherwise, what am I doing this for? I want to go out to the lake alone.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Somebody's got it.
I'm either going to be the friend with the toy hauler or the friend with the boat. I don't know if I can do both.
Yeah. But you'll have something.
Yeah, I'll have something for sure.
Oh yeah, man.
That's dope. So you went to Havasu for, what was this?
Thanksgiving, yeah.
Nice.
Thanksgiving, yeah, I went shooting a little bit.
Hell yeah.
So I was messing with that. I was just gonna start stippling the grip.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I've never been out there in the winter.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool. I mean, people still get out on the lake. You know, there's still some boats out. Sometimes some of the days were nice. Some of the days were pretty hot, even though it's like winter. But,
Yeah. Well, high desert up there. What, like 70s?
It gets super cold at night, but during the day, yeah, like high 60s and sunny.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah,
Not bad.
somewhere in the 60s, but yeah, man.
Hell yeah. And then up there, I haven't off-roaded up there. I've always done the dunes and stuff, but you can go up to like the riverbank, or how's that work?
So they go, it's just called the landing. There's the spot where people load up their boats and stuff. I don't know what it's called. Just, but there's like, they have a spot. They have an RV that they've had since they were, since my buddy was like a little kid. They just pay for it all year long, but their motorhome like stays there on that spot. They have some family further down, but it's just like a big, area with tons of trailers. And you're like on the lake, and people just have their little side-by-sides or a little razor or something, and sometimes you can tow your boat with that down to the lake, drop it off. And,
with the razor?
Yeah,
that's funny.
With the razor, yeah, people do that all the time, and so.
Gangster.
Yeah.
That's cool. So then behind the camp or the RV park is just desert, and you can just rip around and
yeah, exactly. Basically,
come back to it.
Yeah, there's just desert all over.
Because that's like, to me, that's a dream.
Right there too. You 5 minutes walking, and there's a casino too.
Oh yeah.
The Havasu Landing Casino.
The Havasu Landing Casino.
It's on the California side though, so.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a good time. It's fun. It's just for me at least, you can only do that so many times a year before you're just burnt. Yeah,
you get a little burnt. That's why you got to change up the activities. I see we got the duners in the winter, the boat guys in the summer, and then bike all year round.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even mind just having a boat and taking it out just a couple times a year. 2-3 times. Who knows? But at least for like the bigger events, it'd be nice to be out there for 4th of July and whatever. But I don't know, man.
There's a bunch of those. I'm trying to hit more motorcycle events.
Yeah.
And especially out in Florida, we got Daytona. I missed this last one for Daytona Bike Week. But what I really want to see, I'm curious if you know anyone who's been, is the Texas Born Free.
I think Cody went.
It's pretty recent.
I think, yeah. I was planning on going my parents are a few hours away from it, but it was kind of last second for me. So, but I think Cody went, and so far it seems like it's doing pretty good.
Hell yeah. And Cody's...
Obviously, this is the second year, I think.
Yeah, second or third year, second year.
Yeah.
Cody's he's in Texas, so it was like right down the street from him.
Yeah, but it looks like a cool event. What's cool though, it's like a few days and people like camp out.
Yeah, it's a little bit more wild.
A little more like of an event,
Yep.
Like, it's more inviting, Here it's just 2 days of just crazy traffic trying to fucking get in the venue.
Hell yeah, trying to up the highway.
Can't find anybody, and then
no cell phone service. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's it.
Yeah, it is a good one.
And then some bullshit sometimes happens.
Yeah, some bullshit. Sometimes people take your bikes.
Oh, that sucks.
That one and Durango. I've heard more and more good things about the Durango rally.
Yeah.
I think it's called...
Is that the one where they're doing races up
Rocky Point? I don't know. I know they do like a section of the small town and the town of Durango downtown. They'll close off and they have stunts and all that. And it's just like a little baby Sturgis, but in Colorado.
Yes, yeah, I'd be all for checking these out, man.
They got another one in Mexico. I follow a channel called Cruci. Cruci Originals. I don't know if you know about them.
Yeah.
They're always like posting stuff, but sometimes they'll post the events they go to, and they got one down in Ensenada they go to. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah. Hell yeah.
That also, yeah, man.
There's too many of them. Like I can't. I have to write them down.
There's some good ones always in Mexico, I know, but people, you never know how people feel about going down to Mexico. I've tried to make a plan with somebody, and they're like, "No, I'm not going."
Yeah, they get all scared.
Yeah,
News and
like,
social media. It's fine, dude. You have a great time. You'll be all right.
I know. Yeah.
Been a bunch.
Yeah, man.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, I'm excited to see you.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this with me.
Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
we could definitely do another episode and talk for another hour and a half about aliens or something.
We'll do something else. You gotta let me know how everything goes with trying to get a bike and whatever plans you got on.
Most certainly, yeah. It's coming. The question is,
Somebody out there in Florida needs somebody to be the dude that they see just riding. Like, dude, who is that guy?
I will be. I will stand out like a
It's sick
sore
bike.
thumb
What kind
on the
of bike is
freeways.
that,
I will stand out like a sore thumb on the freeways. We got a lot of bagger bros and sport bike guys and stuff.
Little crotch rocket dudes.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Fucking
Cool.
solid. Do you have anything you want to plug or
Dude, no,
how people
man.
can find you,
Just-
ride with you? Hopefully
I've
when
never done anything like
this thing's
I
mobile.
I hope you. I don't know what plans you have with any of this, but just hope you keep at it. And man, it's cool. It's different,
Yeah. Well, my hope is to bullshit with all my friends and give them a platform. And maybe you get some new riding buddies out of this. Maybe somebody's watching this right now and they'll hook you up with a pipe.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be like a thumbnail or something.
Yeah.
Need thunderheader or something.
My name's Sarah McLaughlin, and this man has been without a pipe
for
in the
over 90
arms
days.
of an angel.
But no, I was gonna say something though. No, that'd be cool. Yeah, just because like you said, if you're shooting the shit with everybody else, and I'm watching it, I'm gonna learn something probably from it, or
Yeah.
I'm gonna find out something I didn't know. I don't get a chance to shoot the shit like that with everybody, and there's still some people in the chat I've never even met.
Yeah, we got a big chat.
Yeah, dude.
You got a big chat.
It's getting bigger.
Yeah, my hope is, I don't know if there's a lot of comedians with podcasts out there. And I follow some of them, right? They're good. They make you laugh. They bring up your spirits and stuff. But one of the things they're talking about is like how empowering it has been for each comedian to create their own podcast. And everybody just hops around on each other's podcasts. And everybody brings each other up. And it's like, we just all rise to the top together. And now we don't need, these agencies or Discovery Channel or whoever the fuck these people are. Make our own thing. So I'm excited for you to get your own thing started. So I can support it.
Dude, I was gonna say, I know you mentioned obviously everything with like real estate earlier, but we gotta talk about that later.
Yeah, most definitely. Do you want to do a bong rip on camera or off camera?
No, we could do one in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do one off camera. People are gonna be like, damn,
For sure.
he's
What is that? People watching from Ohio are going to be offended. Marijuana.
Such a pothead.
That's okay. We're not operating vehicles, and we're both of age, so fucking everyone else can kiss my butthole. I'll put your link in the description,
It was a good time, man.
and maybe we'll do another video one of these days. Walk around with the 1990 FXR.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, people.